Now, Fifth, when you continuously call Puff gay, does that affect
No.
your relationships in Hollywood?
I don't call him gay.
Rapper? Oh, you think we'll ever have a gay rapper?
I believe there are some gay rappers that just ain't came out the closet.
Now, it was this documentary that claimed, which we know wasn't true.
Yeah, check this out. We don't talk about things that are nonsense.
Snoop Dogg just dropped some major bombshells, and the industry is shaking. The legendary rapper is breaking his silence, revealing shocking details about Diddy's infamous freak-offs. And trust us, the names he's calling out will blow your mind. From A-list stars to music moguls, no one is safe as Snoop exposes the celebrities who allegedly helped Diddy pull off these wild parties. Stay tuned, because this could change everything you thought you knew about the entertainment world. Celebrities covering for Diddy. Diddy's ongoing legal saga is turning Hollywood upside down. And the most jaw-dropping part? It seems like half of Tinseltown's A-list is covering for him. Or at least trying to. Allegedly, many of the industry's brightest stars have been running interference for Diddy, doing everything they can to keep his skeletons in the closet. But as the recent name-dropping proves, the closet door is barely hanging on by its hinges. So why are these celebs so loyal? Let's not kid ourselves. It's not about friendship bracelets and BFF tattoos. Nope. According to whispers around town, Diddy has been using a combination of bribery and threats to keep people quiet. And if there's one thing Hollywood loves more than its award shows, it's self-preservation. I've seen things you wouldn't believe, one insider claimed during a private chat. But if you say one word, your career is over before you can say Oscar nomination. That's the power dynamic at play here. Diddy's influence, his money, and his ability to make or break careers have kept everyone's lips sealed for years. But now, well, the dam seems to be cracking. Take Snoop Dogg, for instance. Word on the street is that he's been spilling details about Diddy's infamous parties. You know the ones. Glamorous on the surface, but allegedly housing some shady business behind the scenes. Snoop's been hinting at the names of those who helped organize these secretive bashes. In his own words, "I'm not trying to get caught up in that mess anymore. It's all about family and staying true to myself now." Translation: he's done covering for Diddy. But it's not just Snoop. The name-dropping has started to include some heavy hitters. People like Jay-Z, Jennifer Lopez, and Kim Kardashian are reportedly being dragged into the conversation. And let's be real, if you've ever scrolled through Instagram or caught a red carpet interview, you've seen these celebs smiling next to Diddy at some point. But now, folks are asking the tough questions. Were they just innocent bystanders? Or were they involved in the darker side of his empire? Hollywood's silence on this matter is deafening. It's like someone hit the mute button on the entire industry. Normally, these celebs are quick to comment on everything, from social issues to the latest viral TikTok trend. But when it comes to Diddy's legal troubles, crickets. One anonymous source put it bluntly. No one wants to be the first to speak up because they're all scared of what Diddy might say or do in return. Let's not forget, bribery is a powerful tool too. According to reports, Diddy's been incredibly generous with certain people over the years. Lavish gifts, exclusive opportunities, and straight-up cash have allegedly been used to ensure loyalty. One celeb, who shall remain nameless, reportedly said, "He's done a lot for me, so I'm not about to bite the hand that fed me." That's Hollywood speak for, "I'll keep my mouth shut." But as the feds dig deeper into the case, that silence is starting to look more and more like complicity. Prosecutors are already claiming that Diddy's web of influence extends beyond the entertainment world. Personal assistants, security staff, even his so-called friends. They're all being accused of playing a role in keeping his alleged crimes under wraps. And now, some of these celebs are starting to sweat. The pressure is on, and the public wants answers. Social media has been ablaze with comments like, "If they've got nothing to hide, why are they so quiet?" And Hollywood is just one big cover-up machine. But honestly, not wrong. The real kicker here is that many of these stars have built their brands on being relatable and transparent. Yet when it comes to this scandal, they're more buttoned up than ever. Even Beyoncé, Queen Bey herself, has been dragged into the rumor mill. Fans have been quick to point out her and Jay-Z's close ties to Diddy over the years. Will they speak out? Only time will tell. But don't hold your breath. At this point, it feels like a house of cards. One wrong move, one slip of the tongue, and the whole thing could come crashing down. The feds are reportedly armed with video evidence, and some folks are already speculating that a few brave souls might be ready to turn on Diddy to save themselves. It's a wild ride, and we're all just here with our popcorn, waiting to see who's going to speak up next, or get exposed. One thing's for sure, the days of Hollywood covering for Diddy are numbered. The truth has a funny way of coming out, no matter how hard you try to bury it. Snoop Dogg speaks out. If you thought Hollywood's tea was hot before, brace yourselves, because Snoop Dogg has been spilling some serious details about Diddy's alleged activities, and the pot just keeps boiling over. Now, Snoop isn't exactly new to the party, literally. Back in the day, he was reportedly part of Diddy's inner circle, attending those infamous bashes that have since become the stuff of legal nightmares. But lately, the Dogfather has been keeping his distance, and it's starting to make sense why. Word on the street is that Snoop knows more than he's letting on. According to whispers, Diddy had a tight-knit group of associates who helped orchestrate his operations. These weren't just random hangers-on. We're talking about business partners, employees, and even other celebrities who allegedly played key roles in keeping things running smoothly. Snoop, however, seems to have decided that enough is enough. Ever since his wife Shantae Broaddus took over as his manager in 2021, he's been steering clear of any association with Diddy. And honestly, can you blame him? Let's rewind for a second. Back in the glory days of the 2000s, Snoop and Diddy were often seen together, living it up at exclusive events. Those parties were legendary, but not always for the right reasons. Fast forward to now, and those same gatherings are under federal investigation, with accusations ranging from racketeering to coercion. It's no wonder Snoop decided to hit the brakes. According to sources, Shantae's influence played a big part in that shift. She's got his back, no question, an insider shared. When she stepped in as his manager, things changed. He started focusing more on his family and his legacy. But just because Snoop has been laying low, doesn't mean he's staying silent. Recently, he's been dropping some subtle hints about what went down during those wild years. In one interview, he reportedly said, "Man, some things I've seen, I'm just glad I'm not part of it anymore." Cryptic? Sure. But when you pair that with the fact that he's been noticeably absent from Diddy's social circle, it starts to paint a pretty clear picture. The thing is, Diddy's alleged operations didn't happen in a vacuum. He had help, a lot of it. From security staff to personal assistants, it seems like everyone in his orbit had a role to play. And while some might claim they were just following orders, others are being accused of actively enabling his behavior. Prosecutors have alleged that Diddy used a combination of bribery, threats, and manipulation to keep his empire running smoothly. One court document stated, victims believed they could not refuse Combs's demands without risking their financial or job security. And let's not forget the celebrities. Snoop isn't the only high-profile name being mentioned in connection with Diddy's past. Jay-Z, Beyonce, Jennifer Lopez. These are just a few of the A-listers whose names have come up in conversations about those infamous parties. While there's no concrete evidence implicating them in any wrongdoing, their silence has been deafening. As one social media user put it, if they weren't involved, why aren't they speaking out? Snoop, on the other hand, seems to be taking a different approach. By distancing himself from Diddy and subtly addressing the situation, he's making it clear that he's not trying to cover for anyone. "I've got my own lane," he said in a recent interview. "I'm about family, music, and keeping it real. That other stuff, it ain't for me anymore." It's worth noting that Snoop's decision to step away from Diddy's circle coincided with a broader shift in his career. In recent years, he's been focusing on ventures that align with his personal values, from launching a youth football league to advocating for criminal justice reform. While some might see this as a PR move, Those close to him insist it's genuine. Snoop's always been about growth, one friend shared. He's not the same guy he was 20 years ago. As the investigation into Diddy's alleged activities continues, it'll be interesting to see how things unfold. Will more celebrities follow Snoop's lead and start speaking out? Or will they continue to stay quiet, hoping the storm blows over? The entertainment industry is watching closely, and so are the fans. In the meantime, Snoop seems content to let his actions speak louder than words. And honestly, that's a vibe we can all get behind. Because at the end of the day, staying true to yourself is always the best move, no matter how messy things get around you. Diddy's charges and the raids that exposed it all. Diddy's been hit with some serious accusations: racketeering, coercion, and trafficking, to name a few. But this isn't just some tabloid gossip. Federal prosecutors have receipts. According to court documents, they're saying Diddy's so-called bad boy empire was more than just a record label. It was allegedly a front for some pretty shady dealings. So what went down during those raids? Picture this. Law enforcement teams swarming Diddy's luxurious properties, from his swanky Miami mansion to his LA digs. Word on the street is they walked out with stacks of evidence: hard drives, financial records, and even videos. Yes, videos. You know, the kind of footage that makes people sweat when they hear the words, "Now, let's roll the tape." One insider claimed, "The footage is wild. It's not just Diddy. It's who was there and what was happening." And if you've ever heard about Diddy's parties, you know they weren't your average wine and cheese gatherings. These were all-out celebrity extravaganzas, with A-listers partying till the sun came up. Think Jay-Z, Beyonce, and even Jennifer Lopez making appearances. But now, people are side-eyeing those guest lists and wondering, what really went on behind closed doors? Snoop Dogg even threw in his 2 cents during an interview. "Man, those parties? I don't even want to think about what the feds found," he said, shaking his head. "Let's just say I'm glad I dipped when I did." And it's not just about the videos. The financial records reportedly show hush money payments, actual paper trails of cash being thrown around to keep people quiet. It's giving Hollywood hush-hush, but with dollar signs attached. Apparently, Diddy didn't act alone. Prosecutors are saying he had a whole network of enablers helping to keep his operation running smoothly. Personal assistants, security teams, even industry pals were allegedly in on the action. One former employee spoke out anonymously, saying, "Working for Diddy was like walking on eggshells. Everyone knew not to step out of line." As if that wasn't enough drama, there are whispers that Diddy's empire relied heavily on intimidation tactics. One court document reportedly stated, "Victims felt they couldn't refuse his demands without risking their careers or personal safety." And honestly, that checks out. When someone as powerful as Diddy says jump, most people don't ask, how high? They just jump. But here's where it gets juicier. People are finally starting to talk. A former associate spilled the beans, saying, "It's like everyone knew something, but no one wanted to say it out loud. Now it's all coming back to bite him." While Diddy's legal team is out here calling the allegations baseless and saying, Mr. Combs looks forward to proving his innocence, the evidence is stacking up. Social media, as usual, has its theories. One viral post read, "If Diddy's guilty, he's taking half of Hollywood down with him." The entertainment industry is in full damage control mode. Celebs who used to hang with Diddy are suddenly radio silent, and fans are taking notice. One insider joked, "Jay-Z's probably deleting text messages faster than I delete my ex's number." As for Diddy, he's keeping his cool, for now. But the question on everyone's mind is, who's next? Will his inner circle start flipping on him? Will more celebrities get dragged into this mess? It's like a real-life episode of Scandal, and we're all just here with our popcorn, waiting for the next plot twist. For now, Diddy's camp is putting on a brave face. His attorney said in a recent statement, "The truth will come out, and Mr. Combs will be vindicated." Meanwhile, the feds are reportedly preparing even more evidence to make their case airtight. Whether you're a team innocent until proven guilty, or side-eyeing everything about this situation, but for sure, this is Hollywood drama at its peak. So, keep tuned. because something tells me this story is far from over. The name dropping begins. We all know that Diddy has been a central figure in the music industry for decades. But lately, he's been getting a lot of attention for, let's say, less than glamorous reasons. Between the shocking allegations and the growing list of names being dropped, things are getting pretty crazy, and not in the way we've come to expect from a Hollywood mogul. First up, Young Miami. The city girl herself has found herself at the center of this drama. At first, her name wasn't exactly tied to any of Diddy's alleged shadiness. But oh, how the tables have turned. Word on the street is that Diddy has been giving Miami a generous allowance. And yes, you heard that right, an allowance. Now she's out here denying it. But you know how it goes. When the feds come knocking, those secrets have a way of slipping out. As it turns out, Young Miami's financial backing might not have been purely for career advancement, but rather to keep her tied into Diddy's orbit, even as some of his darker dealings came to light. She might have thought she could ride high in the industry thanks to Diddy's support, but now, her name has been thrown into the ring in a lawsuit. According to the document filed by Lil Rod, a producer who claims to have witnessed some shady activity, Young Miami was allegedly seen moving a substance for Diddy when his usual guy, Brendan Paul, got arrested. The plot thickens, doesn't it? In an interview, Young Miami herself seemed to hint at the idea that Diddy saw more in me than music, which, yeah, makes you wonder what exactly she thought she was signing up for. She described Diddy's business proposals as something that could help her rise up in the industry, and it seems like she took him up on that. "It was more of that for me," she said, in an almost too casual way, like she wasn't thinking about the consequences down the line. But now, people are starting to connect the dots, and it's not a good look. But oh no, it doesn't stop there. We've got other names spilling out of the woodwork, and they're not exactly anonymous. Enter Rodney. Who's Rodney? Well, he worked on Diddy's latest album between September and November of 2022, and let's just say, it wasn't exactly the glamorous, star-studded experience you'd expect working with a billionaire mogul. Rodney claims that Diddy was making inappropriate advances toward him, trying to get him to do things that, well, let's just say weren't part of the album's creative process. He described Diddy as a monster who would do whatever is necessary to get what he wanted. Rodney's accusations paint a pretty dark picture of Diddy's behavior, especially when he recalls Diddy telling him, "I'll smack my mama," to get his way. That's some serious stuff, and it's hard to ignore the weight of that statement. Rodney's not the only one who's had enough of Diddy's manipulative ways. More people are starting to speak out, and it's like the floodgates have opened. And then there's the whole big names at the parties thing. For years, Diddy has thrown these high-profile bashes, where the guest lists were packed with A-listers. Jay-Z, Beyonce, Kim Kardashian, J-Lo. Basically, if you've ever seen someone on a red carpet, chances are they've been to one of Diddy's infamous parties. But here's the kicker. These parties, which once seemed like the height of Hollywood excess, are now under federal investigation. The authorities claim to have seized videos from these events, and they know exactly who was there. You can bet that as the investigation heats up, more names are going to get dropped. Who else was mixed up in all of this? The latest updates from the feds suggest that Diddy's crew, including his household staff, personal assistants, and even other celebs, may have helped hide his criminal activities using bribery and threats. But here's the real kicker. Was Diddy manipulating everyone around him, or were they just in on it? The feds say that victims felt they couldn't refuse Diddy's demands without risking their careers, jobs, or even facing retaliation in the form of mistreatment. And you know what? It's not just the big names who are in hot water. Regular people, staff, assistants, and even security are starting to realize that they might have played a role in helping Diddy keep this entire operation going. Whether they did it willingly or under duress, the whole thing is coming apart at the seams. So, what does this all mean for Diddy and his empire? Well, let's just say that things are looking grim. More people are coming forward, more names are being dropped, and the pressure is building. The feds are closing in, and it looks like Diddy's Hollywood reign might be coming to an end. Just wait, folks. This is far from over. Diddy's victims and Jaguar rights revelations. Diddy's victims? Yeah, they're a big part of this mess. As more and more people come forward with their stories, it's becoming clear that Diddy's alleged empire wasn't just built on power and fame. It was built on manipulation and intimidation. The feds are claiming they've got dozens of victims lined up, people who've worked with him, partied with him, or been caught in his orbit. One of the key things we're hearing is that a lot of these victims felt like they had no way out, whether it was through their fear of losing their careers or worse. Diddy allegedly used his wealth and influence to keep people under his thumb, using everything from bribes to threats to ensure no one would step out of line. According to court records, victims reportedly believed they couldn't say no to Diddy's demands without facing serious repercussions, physical or emotional pain being a big part of that equation. But here's the kicker. As the investigation deepens, it seems like more victims are ready to speak up, ready to tell their stories about the man they once thought was a family-friendly mogul. But what's really shaking the table here is the involvement of people who were part of Diddy's inner circle. Jaguar Wright, the singer and outspoken critic, has been out here dropping some major tea. She's not holding back when it comes to talking about the grim side of the entertainment world, especially when it comes to Diddy's shady dealings. And folks, she's made some jaw-dropping claims. Jaguar Wright recently made waves by accusing Diddy of being involved in some serious shady behavior. She's even pointed fingers at other big-name celebs who may have been caught up in Diddy's mess. According to her, intimate videos of artists like Justin Bieber and Usher were sold on the dark web. These are serious allegations, and if they turn out to be true, it paints a pretty horrifying picture of the kind of power Diddy allegedly had over his artists. And let's be real, if this is true, it's a whole new level of disturbing. Now Justin Bieber? He's been through a lot in his career, and this accusation just adds to the pile of unwanted drama he's had to deal with. Imagine having your most vulnerable moments exploited without your consent. If what Jaguar's saying is accurate, this isn't just a Hollywood scandal, it's a nightmare. But it doesn't stop there. Wright isn't just talking about Justin. She's also called out Usher. And let's just say her words didn't paint a pretty picture. According to Wright, the pressure to comply with Diddy's control wasn't just about the business side of things. It was about the darker, more sinister elements of the industry. And for Usher, who's been through his own battles with the industry, this has to feel like one more weight on his shoulders. But Jaguar's not just throwing these accusations out there for drama. She's speaking out because she says she's seen the ugly side of the music business firsthand. She's claimed that Diddy used everything from threats to manipulation to keep people in check. The idea of intimate videos being sold for profit, that's something no one in the industry should have to deal with. And it's not just a one-off thing. It's part of a larger pattern of behavior that's allegedly been going on for years. As the investigation continues, we're seeing more and more people, like Jaguar Wright, stepping up and speaking out. And the more names that get dropped, the more we realize how deep this goes. Diddy may have been a mogul at the top of his game, but if all these accusations are true, then he's been running an empire built on exploitation. And as the public gets more and more invested in this story, the question remains, who else will speak up? Will more victims come forward? What will this mean for the future of Hollywood and the music industry? Now the internet is waiting for more drama to be revealed. They've been saying things like, "I can't wait to see the fall from grace," or jokes like, "Who do you think is on that list?" I can probably name some from the letters J to the Z. They just can't wait for the tell-all. As more victims and insiders step forward, it's clear this story is far from over. But the big question remains, are these celebrities staying silent on their own, or are they being silenced by fear, power, or money? With every new revelation, we're left wondering just how deep this rabbit hole goes. What do you think? Who's next to speak out? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for tuning in, and be sure to check out these other videos we've selected just for you. Catch you in the next one.